massive national celebration and outpouring of patriotism continues, I think it's appropriate that 1 week ago, as we reached the midway point of these games, Stephen Brunt of the Globe and Mail brought us in a video essay. You might remember, he described a feeling that was emerging in this country, a momentum that even a litany of early Olympic problems could not stop. How hosting the world was bringing into focus just who we are as a nation. Well, now that the games are ending and you can hear the celebrations, we asked Stephen for his final thoughts on what the last 17 days have meant to this country.
Let's be honest, it didn't start out very well. A tragic death on day one, an embarrassing malfunction at the worst possible moment of the Olympic opening ceremonies, the snow melting away on Cypress Mountain, the cauldron crudely fenced off from those who wanted to bask in its glow. It seemed like Canada's Olympics might not recover from that stumbling start. And that was before we realized it wasn't going to be quite so easy to own the podium.
And Charles Ameland will not move on.
Before the crushing pressure to perform at home shattered the confidence of some of Canada's best medal hopes.
It's really hard. I feel like I've let my entire country down.
But even as those inside the Olympic bubble were fretting and wringing their hands, on the outside, on the streets, and not just here in Vancouver and Whistler, but right across Canada, something remarkable was taking place. It was as though an entire country was given permission to feel something it needed to feel. And it was the country that set the tone for these games, and not the other way around. A sense that began with the torch relay and kept right on building.
He has done it!
Even after Alexandre Bilodeau's victory, the historic first gold medal, and those unforgettable images of him with his brother, it wasn't quite the script we were expecting. The story was supposed to be all about winning, about finishing first, about putting a new swagger in our step. Turns out the swagger was already there. It was just waiting for the right stage.
Montgomery takes gold in skeleton.
And by the time John Montgomery made his famous stroll through the streets of Whistler, all of Canada was walking beside him, reaching for that pitcher of beer. The number of medals didn't really matter. Though, in the end, the number's going to be just fine. We didn't really need to own anything. What mattered was the occasion. What mattered was the event. What mattered was the excuse to wave the flag and sing the anthem and shout it out loud. Cynicism is easy. So is retreating into historic grudges. So is looking at a world in which what were once borders are now dotted lines at best, and believing it doesn't really matter what you call yourself, or where you live. It does matter, or at least it can. It is important to have a shared history. There is power in the collective experience. And admit it, it feels good. It feels good to let your heart show.
That essay by Globe and Mail columnist Stephen Brunt. Now, as I watched that, I think back, many of you people probably saw it, the interview with Prime Minister Harper last night. I said to the Prime Minister, I said, there's something happening in this country. I've been at 13 Olympics. I've never seen it. What do you think it is? And he said, much like Stephen said this afternoon, he said, the patriotism and pride has always been there. This country was simply waiting for an opportunity to show it. Vancouver has provided that opportunity, and that will forever be the legacy of these 2010 Winter Olympics.